Are you still not convinced that Joe Biden knows how to handle inflation? Did that rattle your confidence rather than bolster it? Then honestly, there's nothing we can do for you at this point. You're beyond reach. In fact, you know what you are, and you may have seen this coming? You're a racist. That's what we call people who continue to ask complicated, long questions about Joe Biden's economic program. They're racists, and getting rid of them is America's greatest problem. Here's MSNBC to remind you.
Mitch McConnell won't come close to delivering the condemnation of white supremacy that Joe Biden did today. Because what? Because they make up part of the Republican coalition? I mean, what is the explanation for why not?
This is always what the right does to appease the white supremacist movement by saying, hey, free speech. Don't touch speech.
Yeah. Extremism and white nationalism, which is not only on the rise in the far dark corners on the internet, but the rhetoric in a tamer version, an attenuated version, I say, is now pretty mainstream in the Republican Party.
Did you hear that from the comb-over guy? Free speech is white supremacy, says Chuck Todd. It's white supremacy, free speech. Talking out of turn, reading your own script rather than the one that Chuck Todd provides you is white supremacy. And that means if you're upset about food shortages or blackouts, you're a racist, 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 racist. There you are complaining again about the precipitous decline in your standard of living. That's always the first sign of a racist. Oh, you don't like crime? You don't like litter? You don't like inflation? You're against public urination in New York City? You know what you are? You're a bigot, pal. Stop complaining. You and your free speech. Gayle King of CBS is a journalist, a talented and highly awarded broadcast journalist, so she knows exactly how racist you are. You're so racist that Gayle King's family members won't even go outside anymore. Watch this.
I'm so afraid. I have a nephew who lives in the Midwest, 20-something, black man, who walks his dog, who said, I was never afraid to walk my dog. Now I'm in the Midwest, just walking around, minding my own business, thinking this could happen at any time.
Yeah, white supremacists just come out and kill him with the First Amendment. That's what happens when you walk your dog in this country. That's how bad it is. Racism against Gayle King's family may be the single biggest problem America faces right now. In fact, it is. The problem is definitely not that we're running out of energy to power civilization. That's not a big deal at all. And that's why you probably didn't read about the fact that the Interior Department just announced it is closing millions of acres to domestic energy production. Sorry, gone. Can't have the energy there. It exists, but you can't have it. You know what we can do, though? Buy it from Venezuela. Yes, we can. 20 minutes ago, they told you Venezuela was a criminal regime. Now, Venezuela's going to provide the oil. Not us. We can't. That's immoral because climate change is existential. But Venezuela can. And the United States, the Biden administration, is doing everything it can to allow the United States to buy Venezuelan oil directly. What does that add up to? Don't think about that. Thinking about it is racist. It's like the First Amendment. It's white supremacy. And if you don't believe it, Karine Jean-Pierre is here to remind you.
Donald Trump is running a racist campaign. The grand wizard of the birther movement, which birtherism is inherently racist. By the way, he's a racist and a bigot, which we already knew. If it walks like a racist, talks like a racist, acts like a racist, it is a racist. And we saw all these awful voter suppression laws, which is really racism just across the country. And we have a racist president in the White House who really pushes his racism like a peacock. Because I'll say this, we knew Donald Trump was a racist. I wanted to ask you, just change the topic for just a quick second, about Donald Trump's racist tweets.
Systemic racism and how that has affected our country.
Donald Trump is the most outwardly racist president that we have seen in generations. This country needs to start talking about uprooting institutional racism. Fox News was racist before coronavirus. They are racist during the coronavirus. Fox News will be racist after the coronavirus.
You know what we need to talk about? Karine Jean-Pierre just told you know what we need to have a conversation about, and by conversation we mean you shut up, I talk. We need to have a conversation about how racist you are, which is very racist. So if you can't keep the lights on or go to the dentist, or if you're one of the very few people, maybe 3 in the country, who's noticed that honey prices have doubled since December, why is that happening? Shut up, racist.